So when are we gonna draw the line and pretend like the way the Kalogeras sisters talk is not normal banter to have with your siblings? Boy or girl? A lot of people will argue and say, they just have a healthy relationship, and, you guys have never seen a healthy sibling relationship, and I agree, the three sisters are obviously extremely close with each other, more than we'll probably ever know. However, this doesn't excuse or answer anything as to why they talk to each other like that. Just look at the Ha sisters for example, they're all extremely close just like the Kalogeras sisters, rich like the Kalogeras and damn near the same age as all of them, but they aren't talking about eggplant and vagina and ass and chum, the list goes on, all the time to each other. It's time for people to admit that it's just weird. It doesn't matter how close you are with your siblings, there needs to be a line drawn. Or at least for what they show in the videos because it's disgusting. In their own private lives off camera they can have at it, but on camera it just makes them look so odd and wonder about the household and things they grew up around. Again, before you bring up the other argument that, they're 19 and 21 and 17 they're old enough, still doesn't matter. Again, the Ha sisters are the exact same age and do not act like this. Family dynamics are different for every family, however we need to stop pretending this is a normal way to talk to your siblings because this is far from normal. And I hope their clearly young and impressionable fan base don't see their videos and go and try that banter with their siblings. Again, all I'm saying is it's fine, but honestly weird AF, if they're talking like this off camera, but on camera being so raunchy just makes them look unclassy and weird for talking that way to each other. Even when they used to pull each other pants down it was more tame compared to whatever they're putting out on the internet now. I hope they pull it together and realize what example they're setting for people regardless of it not being their fault if kids start to copy them. Now the thing with Eliana and Noah, I find it weird how in Coachella she was being thrown around by a whole bunch of men that look like they were 40 or 30. I mean, you have a boyfriend that loves you to death and you're sitting here getting thrown around by men who look a decade above her age, loudly crying face. Their fans are on the whole entire different level, but I'm not the only one who thinks their fans are like brainwashed, right? You could post a video of them doing something so bad it's jail life in prison worthy and their fans will still say it's edited. Their fans send suicide threats if somebody says they don't like them, so imagine what they would say if somebody exposed them with proof included. Their parents are kind of concerning because I don't understand how their parents let their minor daughter hump a bus at Coachella and wear clothes that are almost revealing her boobs. I think they got it from their parents because somebody said in one of their videos it was either the video where they got attacked by monkeys or their zoo video where the dad said something about monkeys biting off people's DS. I saw the comment on TikTok that said, I never liked them to begin with. When some allegations come out I'll be ready to say I told y'all so. And guess what, not proved yet, but apparently Eliana is racist and Demetria and Eliana are a bully. I believe the bully part one, don't know about the racist part, but you'll never know. I wonder if their actual classmates will say something and expose them, who knows. I love the Kalogeras sisters, don't get me wrong, in fact, I've been a fan ever since they started blowing up in spring of last year. However, there is a huge shift in their content and I'm glad to see I wasn't the only person noticing this. First of all, what is going on with the over-sexualization of Eli? I remember when the Kalogeras sisters first started to blow up, people were calling Eli the ugliest sister, which is bizarre because they are all gorgeous. This could be 100% false, but maybe Eliana acts overly sexual on camera to prove to men that she's not the ugliest, and to represent herself as some sexual being. Recently Eli has been making a lot of suggestive comments about herself and it's getting really weird. She is always talking about her tits, butt, vagina, asshole, etc. On their cruise video, she was talking about how perky her tits were and in front of her family, and it seemed like they didn't care. It's getting really bad to the point where Eliana can't go one video without sexually talking about herself, which is so weird. This is not normal, and if she were to do this in front of people who aren't her family, they would be weirded out or worst, attracted to that. Next, let's talk about Demetria. Her private part jokes are extremely annoying and insufferable. She talks like a teenage boy and it's not cute or attractive. She is always talking about labias for some weird reason. I don't think in my whole 16 years of living I have ever said the word labia out loud. This isn't normal at all and it's so strange. She has some weird fascination or fetish around labias, and Eliana has some weird fascination with her breast. I've tried to convince myself that their jokes are normal but they are not, they are just odd. Sunday is the only one who actually seems normal. Sure, she makes inappropriate jokes too but hers aren't as weird or fetish-like. She is even seen in videos, especially in most recent ones, telling her sisters to stop talking about stuff like that. Their manager, Emily, does a pretty shitty job at being a manager. If she truly cared about their digital footprint she would have told them to tone down the jokes ASAP. The way they portray themselves on the internet is horrible and it attracts creepy old men. And speaking of creepy old men, let's talk about exploitation because Eliana is 100% getting exploiting and it's going to get worse if it doesn't stop. Her outfits are interesting but that's not the main focus. She needs to stop putting an emphasis on her body because it attracts the wrong audience. You can wear revealing clothes, that's not a huge deal but what is sad is seeing her constantly sexualize herself. It seems like she might be hypersexual which is normal among teens but it is not normal to put that on the internet. The thing about Piper Rockall and Eliana Kalogeras is that Eliana puts her sexuality out there but Piper's mom does it secretly and disguises it as something normal. Both are horrible and need to be stopped. And that leads me to wonder, who truly cares for Eliana? It seems like Demitra, Sunday, Noah, her parents, and fans don't care. If my older sister knew I was an influencer and saw me doing suggestive stuff online, she would sit me down and talk about my safety. My mom and maybe even my brother would do the exact same thing. The thing is, nobody cares. I hate to assume this but it seems like Eliana's own family is exploiting her. The crazy thing is that you can exploit someone without actually verbally telling someone what to do. You can exploit someone by simply allowing unhealthy behaviors and watching it, knowing why it's wrong and doing it on purpose. So her family might not be telling her, in this video, keep talking about your body and say sexual things, but they could be watching her doing it and not saying anything on purpose to exploit her. All of this has to stop. It's strange and not normal,